G'day humans, Chris Stead here. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the just announced Google Pixel 9 with the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8a. Let's jump in. So in my hands right here, I've got the Pixel 9. It's just been announced. It's just arrived at my front door. I can't show you what's inside just yet because unboxings, review impressions, they're embargoed for a little bit longer. So stay tuned to the channel. There's definitely more coming on this and also a number of other Pixel products that have just been announced. But in this particular video, I want to show you what's changed with the Google Pixel 9 over not only the Google Pixel 8, but the mid-gen Google Pixel 8a. So you can see the differences between the devices, where things have improved or maybe not improved. And if you want to kind of come in at a cheaper level with some of the old generation tech, whether or not that's a good move for you or not. So we're going to dive in with a specs comparison, and then after that I'm going to show you a little bit of content from the the Sydney Google presentation for the new Pixel range, so you can hear what Google's got to say about this new device and what it thinks it is offering over the 8s. So you're going to get my thoughts and you're going to get their thoughts, so you're really going to get a pretty good rundown of everything you need to know. All right, let's jump in with those specs. So let's start with the basics, and I think the release date side of things is quite interesting when we're comparing these phones, because usually we see the Pixels in October, and last year was the Pixel 8 came out on October 12. The 8a then came out on May 14, and then really just 3 months later, the Pixel 9. So they've really sold the 8a short. When we look at the price difference, it's quite a significant jump in the base model price for the Pixel 9 over the Pixel 8. So we'll have a look as we go through the specifications. You're just going to have to decide if you think there's a worthy argument to support Google in that move. But yes, the 849, the Pixel 8a was actually, I thought, a really good deal for what that phone offered. And it'll be interesting as we go through this to see whether you think it's a $500 better phone, the Pixel 9. Weight-wise, the Pixel 9 is a fair bit heavier, despite the fact that the dimensions, as you can see below that, aren't too different. In fact, it's thinner but heavier. So that is quite intriguing. It's not a huge difference, but definitely interesting that it's found a little extra weight despite having the same form factor more or less. Indeed, as we head over to the display, you can see they've both got the 6.3 Acura display on offer. Although interesting, double the contrast ratio in this current generation over both the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8a. And the Pixel 8a was a slightly smaller screen. So if size is a big deal for you, that's potentially a nod in its direction. The refresh rate stayed the same, and the resolution of the three devices is more or less the same as well. Not too much to talk about there in terms of variance. However, the brightness, we have seen a decent kick with the Pixel 9, moving up to 1800 nits with HDR and 2700 nits peak brightness. So that's a fair jump up and pretty impressive. Battery life is intriguing. We're looking at 24 hours as a minimum. So that's what they're saying you're going to get a day basically out of your battery before you have to worry about charging it. However, the Pixel 9 will last up to 100 hours with its battery saving modes on, whereas the Pixel 8 and 8a, they suggest you're more likely to get 72 hours. And this despite the battery capacity itself on a Pixel 9 not being massively more. It's a little bit more, but not massively more. And I think that plays into the way that the AI, the Gemini AI, is getting involved with the way that these devices are now handling efficiency. Now, the fast charging is interesting. It's pretty much the same across the board, despite the fact that they've tested the Pixel 9 with a 45 watt USB-C charger, as opposed to 30 watt USB-C with the Pixel 8 and 8a. So that is the recommended paired charger that you can get, but as you can see below, it's not included in the box, which is really frustrating. So those fast charging speeds are if you get their charger, which they're not going to give you with the actual phone. So you're probably not going to get those actual results, because you're probably going to end up using some charger that's not perfectly those specs, which you have lying around the house. I do wish they'd start including chargers again, or at least every other generation. Over on the build side of things, and obviously one of the big steps up each year is what we see with the processor. So we're moving up to Tensor G4, up from the Tensor G3 that we saw last generation. At the end of going through these specs, I'll show you the presentation. You can still learn a bit more about where Google thinks that the Tensor G4 chip is improving the experience, the user experience. But part of that is how it talks with the Gemini Live AI, which is kind of the next iteration they're calling Gemini Live. It was Gemini Nano, they were calling it last generation. Now they've got Gemini Live, which is either the sequel or just an additional part of, you know, Gemini Enhanced. It wasn't quite clear whether it's Nano's there plus live or whether Nano is now live. But yeah, so that's working a lot more closely with the grander Android ecosystem in a much more meaningful way. Now, if we look down at the RAM, you'll see that there's a 4GB bump this generation, and that's to do with the Gemini. So they said we've basically added more RAM in so that the AI can do its thing and do so independently of basically taking a step backwards with the way that processing works with the amount of memory it's got available. So that's interesting. Capacity hasn't changed in the base model. Slight differences across all three phones with the glass that they've used. So Victus 2, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 with the new Pixel 9. It was the Victus 1 with the Pixel 8, Gorilla Glass 3 with the 8A, so slightly variant there. Now, if you scroll back to the price, this is where there was a couple of shortcuts starting to be taken with the 8A to help that price come down while still trying to pack it with features, and that could be what we're seeing there. Now you can see I've got temperature sensor no across the board. I've only got that there because the temperature sensor is a variation between these base model phones and the Pro models. So the temperature sensor is the one sensor, there's a whole bunch of sensors, but the temperature sensor is the one sensor that you get in a Pro that you don't get in the base model, so I thought I'd include it. So over on the camera front, obviously the Google Pixel range has always been particularly famous for its cameras. And I think it's interesting watching the evolution here over the period between the 8A and then the 9. So the 8A was like one of its big things when it came out was it was a step up in terms of what the camera offered. You can see there it moved up to a 64 megapixel camera. We did lose a bit of light or ability to handle low light there with the smaller sensor and the higher aperture, and we lost a little bit of field of view, but gained a bit more in terms of resolution. You can also see that the ultra wide camera also had a little bit of a bump, and so did the front facing camera. It also received a little bump. So from the Pixel 8 to the Pixel 8A, there was a step up, not a leap, but a step up. And then when we move to the Pixel 9 this generation, it's a much more significant leap. The wide camera remains the same. However, the ultra wide camera has jumped from 12 megapixel up to 48 megapixel. So huge res bump there. The aperture is going to let in more light. Now you can see I haven't mentioned the image sensor on the Pixel 8 or the Pixel 8a. That's because it wasn't advertised by Google. So they didn't specifically confirm the image sensor size. So I've left it out, but you can see it there for the Pixel 9. They've gone and they've mentioned it. So they obviously think that it's worth crowing about to a certain extent. Zoom wise, we've got level across the board. And with the front camera, it's interesting, the front camera on the new Pixel 9 has just basically just stayed with what was on offer in the Pixel 8, which I find intriguing because there was a bump up in the Pixel 8a and there's a huge bump up in the Pixel 9 Pro, and I've done another video comparing the Pixel 9 to the Pixel 9 Pro. But yeah, they've kept it pretty much the same. Having said that, there's a lot more going on with the AI. Now, as we look across at the video differences between the three phones, it's interesting. Like, they're all shooting exactly the same 4K and HD quality content in terms of frame rate. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more going on in terms of the processor and what the AI involvement's going to be and stuff like that. But it's interesting how the digital zooms kind of change between the three phones. And also, if we look at the front video, how the frame rate options change between the three phones as well. So it's a little intriguing there. This was with the 9 Pro as well. They haven't really done much with that front video camera. The video has definitely not been as big a focus as the still photos have been in this generation 9, to my opinion. In terms of the actual features, the editing features, like there was a lot already available, but there's been some new additions with the Pixel 9 that I think are worth mentioning. The Add Me function is awesome. Auto frame, reimagine, and zoom enhance. They're the four kind of big ones that I picked out. And after we've gone through his specs, I'm going to show a little, well, actually, I've got a whole separate video just focused on showing off what those four things do. So make sure you check that out. And that's going to take you through what they actually add to your photo experience. And finally, with the colors, with the last generation, hazel and porcelain and rose came through with the Pixel 8. The 8a dumped hazel, added obsidian and bay. And then the Pixel 9 has kept obsidian and porcelain, and gone for wintergreen and peony. All right, so there's a spec comparison for you. Now I'm going to jump across to the Google presentation to Press in Sydney, so you can see here what Google explain what it believes are the big changes and what consumers should be looking out for in the Pixel 9. But that gives you a rundown and idea of how things have changed, especially if you're thinking about saving some money and dipping into the older 8 market, whether or not there's a big difference there or a loss. That's up to you. Hopefully you will also be able to catch a review from me soon on the channel, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that.
I want to switch gears to the base model 9. The 9 comes with a polished glass finish, so as you're looking through, you sort of see the difference in the finish. Matte, sleek metal frame, really beautiful devices. In terms of colors this year, you can see again the obsidian and porcelain. We also are introducing wintergreen and peony. These colors really pop, they're beautiful, they're bold, impressive engineering across these as well. Durability, same as the Pro, twice as durable as last year's device. And similar to the Pro, you see exceptional display, camera, and so on. In terms of the Pixel 9 camera, so last year's device we sort of introduced the best camera experience at this price point. With the Pixel 9 we're going beyond that. So the easy way to think about this is with the Pixel 9 you're getting 2 Pro level cameras, and with the Pixel Pro you're getting 3 Pro level cameras. So you can see here both the wide and ultra wide, same specs as the Pro device that we just talked about. On the front-facing camera, we've also upgraded it there. Our front-facing camera this year comes with autofocus, so if you are taking a video call, you're able to sort of move forwards and backwards, and it'll keep you in sharp view. Also, some improved light detection there, low light detection. Display again, bigger, brighter, more uniform bezels, 35% increase in brightness. So these displays really pop. Durable Corning Gorilla Glass on the front. Performance-wise, again, another RAM bump on the baseline, so you can sort of see what that's setting up for in terms of capability. We've also done a lot of work on battery life with these devices. This year's 9 showing 20% improvement in battery life under everyday use. And if you're going to a music festival or you're going on a camping trip, extreme battery saver mode will give you 100 hours of use out of the charge, which is great win. Now, the fun part. Let's talk about the chip that makes all of this possible. So all of those phones that you've seen come today with a brand new chip that we're introducing, Google's Tensor G4. This is our most powerful, most efficient chip ever. It was custom developed hand in hand with Google's DeepMind team, which really means it's at the cutting edge of AI capability. Last year, we introduced the first phone that had Gemini Nano with the Pixel 8. And this year with G4, we're introducing the first phone with Gemini Nano and multimodality. What multimodality means is your phone is not just understanding text and prompts, it's able to take in imagery, audio, speech, and kind of provide a level of helpfulness there that has never been possible before on a mobile device. This is the first time that we're bringing these highly capable multimodal models and able to run them on a sort of mobile form factor, and that's down to this chip. Beyond AI use cases that we will talk about, just baseline performance, you're seeing better web browsing speeds, you're seeing 17% faster app launch speeds, and again, battery life improvements through the efficiency of the silicon. All right. At I/O, for those of you who covered that, we spoke about how we were sort of in this once-in-a-generation moment to change how people think about what a phone can do. We're reimagining Android as sort of having AI at its core. And in order to facilitate that, obviously the devices need to be incredibly capable and powerful, running AI workloads smoothly across the experience. That's why G4 has been developed with industry-leading token rates. It's able to process some of those heavy AI workloads in ways that really staggering across performance, across efficiency. This has only been made possible because of being able to work hand in hand with DeepMind. So you sort of can imagine the silicon and the AI workloads really optimized for each other. Beyond processing speed, this is also what has allowed us to provide that multimodality experience. which is a significant jump in sort of computational complexity. We're also providing a RAM carve-out specific for AI. So that bump that we talked about in RAM, some of that is being used towards ensuring that Gemini and AI workloads are running smoothly, consistently across the experience. Pixel 9 is actually the first device that's taking that approach. What makes Gemini special, I think, is how we ensure your personal information is protected. So unlike some other products, with Gemini, your data is being processed end-to-end within Google's ecosystem. You're not sending your personal data to a third-party service that you may not know or trust. Across the board, whether it is at the edge, so the AI chip that's running on your device, through to the cloud and the powerful processing available through Google's infrastructure, you are working within a single brand. What that means is we're able to be really deliberate about where do we optimize for performance, where do we optimize for privacy, where do we optimize for capability and helpfulness. And you'll see that come to life in a few of the features that we'll jump into. All right. This year, Pixel 9 comes with Gemini built in throughout the experience and as the default assistant. So with your permission, what that means is Gemini is able to look at things like your inbox, your calendar, appointments, to-do lists, and it's able to combine that information and provide a set of helpful experiences that, again, have never been possible before on a mobile device. I heard an interesting story just yesterday about a colleague who had asked Gemini, please go find my resume from Drive from 2024 and write a short personal statement for a health team I want to apply to. And in a few seconds, Gemini was able to pull that information together and give him a really helpful starting point. That is a level of complexity and sophistication where we're moving from assistants that are agents and sort of answering questions in terms of set a timer, what's the weather. We're moving towards true intelligence, where this tool is able to help you get those jobs done end-to-end more quickly. And in this case, the colleague was very impressed with the result. Gemini is also upgraded to those multimodal models. So again, reinforcing this idea of moving from just a text input-output to being an experience that can bring in more context from the world around you. An example I love here is if you're walking along and you see a poster for a show that you want to go to, you can snap a picture of the poster, you can ask Gemini to check whether you're available that night, you can even ask Gemini to put a text together to invite your friends, and maybe a cute image to get people pumped up, and all of that can be done end-to-end in a flash with this true Gemini assistant. Another point on Gemini, we're improving how Gemini communicates with you. So as people, we like to talk through problems, we like to have conversations, that's how we learn. And that's why I'm genuinely excited about how Gemini Live changes the interface. You're able to have a free-flowing conversation with your assistant. I was using this the other day, we were thinking about landscaping our yard, and we're sitting there in the space being able to look around and ask, what kinds of plants grow well in this environment? And if we don't like that color, what else could we choose? For a length of fence this long, how many plants do I need? And how much money does that cost? At the end of that conversation, because it felt so natural, I was off to Bunnings. Like, this is a DIY project ready to go. And again, I think being able to do that in a way that's free-flowing, it's seamless, it really does feel like you have an assistant there helping you along the way. Gemini Live is transformative. I think as you get to experience this product, it changes the game in terms of how you experience AI. Gemini Live, in terms of how that's coming to market, we are making it available first to Gemini Advanced subscribers, and then to make sure that all of our 9 Pro device purchasers are able to really get that experience. That subscription will be bundled in with your purchase for the first 12 months. So you're getting 12 months of Gemini Advanced with the Pro devices. Right, new features. Lots going on here, so we'll fly through. Beyond the assistant that we just talked about and some of the changes there, there are a number of apps that are really taking advantage of the integration between software and hardware. Starting with a first all-new Pixel exclusive. So this is Pixel Screenshots. What it helps you do is sort of remember and organize information that you might need to sort of stow away in a memory bank, and then recall it really easily. So what we noticed is people take screenshots of things they want to remember. So think door codes when you're on holiday, Wi-Fi passwords, addresses. What we found is people are already doing this behavior. If you take a quick screenshot to go and look it up later, what Pixel Screenshots is able to do is apply Gemini to organize that information, and then you can simply ask Gemini, hey, what was the PIN code for that apartment from Jared? And it'll be able to pull that information right up, the screenshot, the context, and give you a quick answer. Pixel Screenshots runs on device, so from a privacy perspective, thanks to that multimodality, again, we're taking in images, we're taking in speech, we're taking in text input, and it's able to do that all without that information leaving your device. Okay, here we go, Pixel Studio. So Pixel Studio is a really fun tool. I hope you guys will spend some time playing with this. This is how we're using our first of its kind image generator on the Pixel 9. Pixel Studio you can think of as sort of a creativity canvas powered by AI. It helps you create new images with a simple prompt. You can also then edit, change the subject, reorganize, layer on text. Once the image is generated, you can also change the style. So you can change from photorealistic to cartoon style and much more. I can tell you, or at least the people in my group chats can tell you, my meme game has improved considerably as a result of this tool. And it is just a whole bunch of fun to play with. So I encourage you to get to know Pixel Studio. Behind the scenes here, this is using our Imagen 3 AI models, so that's running on the cloud, and some diffusion models on the device for when you're making quick edits. So the experience is really quick, it's real time, and a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Talking about camera and camera features. Camera is obviously something that we're incredibly proud of in the Pixel team. We've spent the last 9 years relentlessly continuing to optimize and improve the camera experience. This year we rebuilt large parts of our pipeline from the ground up, really to take advantage of that hardware capability and some of the new AI features. So of course, this year coming back, you'll still be getting great night sight video. We've rebuilt the panorama experience, and there's some big improvements to that as well. The big headline, I think, in terms of camera this year is video. So Pixel 9 Pro is by far delivering our best video experience yet. Video Boost, which you may be familiar with, has been upgraded. So this year's Video Boost can go up to 8K with AI rescaling. So you're capturing video and then being able to upscale that for just super clear and crisp video content. Super Res Zoom is also available. This allows you to zoom in as far as 20x with a smooth zoom through the video range. Also low light being improved in our video experience. So a lot of really great enhancements in the video space. You'll see that in the tech specs kit. 2 new AI-powered features in store when you need to make edits after you've captured video. Photos or video, I should say. The first is what we call Add Me. This is all about group photos. You might be familiar, last year we spoke about Best Take, which is all about making sort of everyone in the group look their best with a beautiful smile on their face. But we've all had that experience, I'm sure, where you're out with friends. Someone's like, let's take a photo. Who's got the best camera? I pull out my Pixel, obviously, and get a little bit of an ego boost. It's great for my cred. It's less great because I'm not in the picture, right? I'm standing there, I'm taking the picture of the group. Add Me allows us to use some new capabilities so that you're not handing your phone to a stranger. Those photos never look as good, and you're able to be part of the picture. How it works, it uses our AR platform, augmented reality platform, and on-device AI. You take a picture of the group, and then you swap spaces with somebody who is in the group, and the AR experience will help sort of make sure that you're able to be composed into that image as if you were there. It is pretty fun, great for families, great for groups of friends. Again, look forward to you guys trying this out. Magic Editor, which we introduced last year. This is about using generative AI to do complex edits as quickly as possible. This year we're expanding Magic Editor with 2 important new features. All right. First feature is auto frame. This allows you to sort of recompose an image. So we have trained a set of models around known photography techniques that improve storytelling, sort of bring the subject out in a photo. What it'll do is present a set of options to you after you've taken a picture to recompose. Gen AI will fill in the gaps if it needs to, and so you get these really impressive sort of shifts in perspective with the Magic Editor. And Reimagine, this is by far my favorite feature in the Magic Editor right now. Essentially just being able to type a quick prompt and it will reimagine the shot that you have. So this could be backgrounds, walls, season, time of day, replacing, as you can see here, fireworks in the background, as well as some really creative things that the team has been experimenting with. This is a whole new world of creativity for your photos. And it is a lot of fun to play with. Okay, I'm going to click it, just stopped working. There we go. Fantastic. That was a lot on phones. We still have a couple more things to get through, so we'll keep flying through. Phones-wise, Pixel 9, 9 Pro, and Pro XL. Brand new size for the Pro, as I said. New evolution of Gemini and that multimodal capability. Improved durability, twice as durable as last year's phone. Improved performance, and of course the very best camera system. So that's kind of the capture of the Pixel 9 this year. Pricing-wise, the Pixel 9 is starting at $1,349, and the Pixel 9 Pro XLs, sort of the larger Pro model, starting at $1,849.
So there you go, guys. That's my rundown of the differences between the brand new Google Pixel 9 and the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8a that preceded it. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you keep an eye on the channel because, like I said, there's going to be some review content going live and there's plenty more content around the Pixel phones. There's the Pros, there's the Pro XL, there's the Fold, there's a watch. There's plenty going on. So keep an eye on the channel. Plenty of stuff going up. Otherwise, I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'll check you later. You.